As soon as I opened this plugin for the first time and used it just once, I was like, man, I need to make a video about this because this is a game changer when it comes to reverbs and delays. What's up guys, this is Valentina with Bigger Creations, and today we're talking reverbs and delay. Let's dive into it. Today we're talking about CLA Epic. It's a Waves plugin specifically for reverbs and delays. It has easily become one of my new favorite plugins from Waves. So I'm gonna walk you through it, show you how I use it, and yeah, if you're interested in getting it, there's gonna be a link in the description. This is the plugin that we're gonna be working with today. So the left side is all of your delay settings. The right side is all of your reverb settings. The cool thing here is that we have different types of delays and reverbs set up. So channel number 1 is a tape delay, then channel number 2 is a throw delay, then a slap delay, then a crowd delay. And then on the reverb side, we've got a plate delay, a plate reverb, and a room reverb, a hall reverb, and a space reverb. So the cool thing is you can trickle in all the different types of reverbs and delays into your mix without having to bus everything out separately to a separate bus. And you have a dry and wet knob so you can decide how much of it you want to be heard. You also have a high pass and a low pass filter embedded to each and every one of these, and you can route your delays over to your reverbs. So it looks super complicated because there's a ton of knobs, but it's actually super simple. I was just messing around with the knobs here to kind of play with it for the first time. So now I'm going to show you what it sounds like with CLA Epic on it instead of my own delay and reverb. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé. It just sounds more tastefully done. It sounds like there's a lot more detail in there, even though like in general, you're just adding reverb and delay, but the different types of reverb and delay and then blending those in together make the vocal sound a lot more polished and a lot more like you spent more time on it. Right off of the bat, I love CLA Epic, and I'm gonna show you just starting from scratch what this actually does. The first thing you gotta know here is that these are mute buttons. So if you want each of these channels to be turned on, then they actually have to be off. Because these are mute buttons. So if they're all dark, then that means they're all engaged. If they are light, then they're not engaged. So if you're gonna use all of the knobs, then I just like to have all of the channels, both 1, 2, 3, 4, and A, B, C, D on. So not on mute. And then what I like to do is actually just start with the first, just go from left to right. I'm gonna put all the knobs down right now so that nothing is actually being affected. And then we're gonna start from the beginning. So we're gonna start with this first one. We're gonna start with the tape delay. You can change what you want it to be here. I'm gonna change it to 1/4. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé. Okay, so I've just added a high pass and a low filter with a tape delay at 1/4. Let's move over to our throw delay. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé. And I want this to match, so I'm gonna change it to 1/4 as well. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame. Then we go over to the slap delay, and you can change your settings here, but I'm just kind of messing with the knob so you can really see what the power behind this plugin. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé.
Ya no puedo más contigo.
And something to notice here, and I've talked about it in my previous tutorials around delay and reverb, but the reason why these knobs are so important is because you can EQ your delay and your reverb without having to add an EQ plugin on the same channel strip. So it saves you a plugin, it saves you some CPU power, and it's easy to adjust and nail down, specifically looking at all of your delays and reverbs just within one plugin. So it's super, super awesome.
Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé. Ya no puedo más contigo.
So I like to kind of roll off around 200 and then go up to somewhere between 4 to 8,000 on the low pass. And then here's the cool thing about this crowd one, you can get different sounds by going to tight and wide. So let's take a look.
Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé.
This one sounds a little bit more like, if you go to wide, it sounds a little bit more like you're in a stadium and you get a little bit of that extra echo. Kind of gives you a little bit of those kind of like weekend vocal vibes on those big choruses.
Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé.
So already the vocal seems to have more presence. Here's the cool thing. I can actually send, notice how it's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the delay and then A, B, C, D on the reverb. So I can actually say, you know what, I want my tape delay to have some reverb. So I'm gonna have it go to route to my A and B channels of my reverb. So let's see what my A and B channels here are.
Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame.
This plate reverb is just kind of like your main reverb that you add to the vocals, just to kind of have it feel like it's in some sort of space and not totally dead before you add those longer reverbs. So then I'm gonna head over here and add our room reverb, which is a little bit bigger.
Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame.
Basically, now that I have A and B engaged on the tape delay, what's happening is that that tape delay is also being sent to the plate reverb and the room reverb. So that's the cool thing about this plugin, like it's all in one. You don't have to like pull up all these different buses and look at all your chains and like figure out what's going and getting routed where. It's a very clean and easy CPU friendly way of doing your delays and reverbs, and it just makes a lot of sense. So let's keep going here.
Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé. Here's the cool thing, you can also solo and mute the different ones here, so you can actually just hear the effect that you're working on if you want to do that as well. And then we've got the dry and wet knob, which is the equivalent of that, the dial to send to the bus. And so you can decide how much of this delay and reverb is actually being processed through the entire vocal. So let's mess with that too. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame. Okay, let's listen to it with everything. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé. Ya no puedo más contigo, déjame que yo te olvido, bebé. So there you have it, guys. It's one plugin, but you can do all of your delay and reverb inside of it. It saves you a ton of CPU, and it is just
a way more organized and simplified way of getting complex delays and reverbs, especially for vocals. So let me know what you think about this plugin. If you think this was awesome and this video was helpful, then let me know in the comments. Make sure to hit that thumbs up. I'm gonna put a link to it in the description if you wanna check it out. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future videos. And as always, if you ever have any questions or wanna see more content, check me out on Instagram. Don't forget to follow me on Spotify. And of course, keep making beats.